Let's raise that issue. Why has this protest, particularly today, turned so violent? We're joined by Pawan, Khera, national spokesperson of the Congress. Rakesh Sinha is the Rajya Sabha MP of the BJP. I'm joined by Kavita Krishnan. Waris Pathan is spokesperson of the AIMIM. Ravinder Singh is an author. So several people joining us at this moment. Remember, Sonia Gandhi has also spoken a short while ago. She has made an appeal to the government to open a dialogue. But Pawan, Khera, how do you open a dialogue when these images are playing out of public property being destroyed? Now, let's be very clear. Surely violence has no place in what was till yesterday being seen largely as a peaceful protest. To that extent, has this protest now spiraled out of control, been taken over by lumpen anti-social elements? Mr. Khera.
Look, when you can see these images which are very disturbing when violence takes over. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
So this is the right moment to engage with these protesters. Please try and allay their fears, and their fears are absolutely, they are not ill-founded. Their fears are absolutely justified, and they are justified in coming out on the roads and protesting. There are two aspects. One is the CAA, the other is the NRC. You have to read both these aspects in conjunction with each other. They cannot be independent of each other.
But Pawan, the fact is the worst rumors are being spread. This is being exaggerated to an extent. The government has said NRC rules haven't been formulated. So what is acceptable, what's not? You see some of the WhatsApp messages that are doing the rounds. They're making it seem as if you have to produce documents going back to 1971. The government has made clear that's not the case. Any documentation, whether it's your license, whether it's your Aadhaar, whether it's your passport, is acceptable. Fear-mongering is on in the worst manner possible. How is violence justified, Pawan? Look at that vehicle being burnt outside the DCP's office in Delhi. How is this a form of protest?
Sir, violence... No, don't... Please, Rahul, Kanwal, do not confuse the two issues. As far as the violence is concerned, absolutely unacceptable. Now let's come to the fundamental issue of this debate. The fundamental issue is when Mr. Amit Shah, the Home Minister himself in October this year, goes and loudly announces that NRC will be done across the country, there are definitely fears, because NRC unsettles citizens of this very country, whereas CAA undermines the preamble of the Constitution. It violates our basis of the Constitution, which is not religious lines. India was not founded on religious lines. What on earth do they mean when they say that they are undoing the wrongs done in 1947? Wait. Was Afghanistan a part of the partition plan? If the wrongs are being righted, why are you bringing in Afghanistan? Afghanistan is nowhere in the picture in 1947. It is not a part of United India in any case. So what nonsense are they trying to sell?
No, you are claiming in a sense that the core issue remains the manner in which this Citizenship Amendment Bill has been drafted, made into an act which you are saying is patently discriminatory. Rakesh Sinha, you want to respond to that? It's one thing for, that to see these images and suggest that that the protests have gone out of control, it's a law and order situation. But who created it? What was the necessity for the government to push through a Citizenship Amendment Act at this moment? You've opened up these fault lines. It's come on the back of several other decisions you've taken, like scrapping Article 370, and there's a sense of fear and anger among certain communities.
Rajdeep, let me finish.
When did the protesters demand the dialogue with the government? What is the agenda of the protesters? Congress party and other some left parties which are bankrupt now, they are trying to communalize the situation, divide the communal divide. I'm just asking two questions. As far as CAA is concerned, Manmohan Singh 2003 supported the citizenship to all the refugees who are coming from Bangladesh, Pakistan and Afghanistan. In 2012, CPIM in its 20th party Congress in 2012 passed a resolution demanding the amendment in the Citizenship Act and giving citizenship to the refugees. Now there is a volte-face. I have the simple question. The right to worship is a fundamental right, and we are just giving right to worship to those Hindus, Christians and other minorities who have been denied in these three states.
But Professor Rakesh, it's not that
Muslims
simple,
are denied the right to worship, we will give them.
Simple,
but how can Islamic State deny? How can
Rakesh ji, you
just
are
let me
now
complete.
telling the people of this country
Yeah.
that NRC and CAA are not
Let me
linked.
complete. Sir,
There
let
are
me complete one
multiple
sentence.
comments, public comments by the senior most BJP leaders where they themselves say it's part of a package deal that one will happen, then the other will happen. Now you can't say CAB is in isolation, NRC is separate, we haven't notified NRC. Throughout the last several months, your party leaders have been saying the two are linked.
Sir, let me make it very clear. CAA is concerned with those people who are religiously prosecuted in Afghanistan, Bangladesh, and Pakistan. It is giving citizenship to them. How does it relate to NRC? Government has not formulated NRC. Government has not announced any date for NRC, and you are protesting.
Okay,
if rumors can be the basis of protest, rumors can be basis
Pawan
of
Khera,
burning of
Pawan Khera,
this
respond
public
to 2
property,
points.
destroying public
The
property, and the
BJP
Congress
is
party
saying-
is supporting. There is
Okay.
no moral basis for this protest.
Okay, your point. The BJP is saying, A, don't link CAA to NRC now. They're saying that is a false link, even though only last week Hemanta Biswa Sarma in a program told me very clearly it's a combo package. But be that as it may, the BJP says you are engaging in fear-mongering, A, and significantly says the Congress, its former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh in 2003 had also suggested an amendment to the Citizenship Act to protect religious minorities. So let's be very clear. Where is the Congress simply seeking to exploit a political situation that exists today?
Rajdeep, did Dr. Manmohan Singh in that particular intervention of 2003 say that please discriminate on the lines of religion? If he did so, please ask my friend to right now run that video. Number 2, shouldn't there be a difference between an intruder and a refugee, not on religious lines? Either an intruder, whoever the intruder is, has to be out. Whoever the refugee is, can be in. Let's be very clear about it.
But Pawan
And by
Khera,
the way,
I
Rajdeep,
heard
you'll
that
be shocked by
comment
this
made by
figure.
Dr. Manmohan
When the
Singh,
Intelligence
he's
Bureau made a
specifically
presentation
asking
before
for
the parliamentary
citizenship for
committee. Wait, let me
minorities.
finish. Please let me finish. Please let me finish. Please let me finish. Rahul, let me finish. Let me finish, please. So Ahmadiyas are a minority, no? Or Ahmadiyas are not a minority. Hazaras are not a minority.
Whom do you want
What
to
are you
face?
talking about? I have done my homework, please. The Intelligence Bureau, Rajdeep Sardesai.
Sir,
The Intelligence Bureau,
you are
Rajdeep
bringing
Sardesai,
Ahmadiyya.
made a
Let's hear
presentation
more.
to the
No,
parliament.
Rakesh, I'll let you one by one. Rakesh, one by one. Rakesh, one by one. Pawan Khera, finish your
The
point.
question of importance of prophet.
Rajdeep,
How
this
are
is
you
not
supporting
done.
the Ahmadiyya? This is Islamic debate.
This is not done.
Inside
I am
the
not
debate. Why
engaging
should
with
we
him
intervene
on
in
this
Islamic
debate.
debate?
Yeah.
Let
Okay.
me finish.
Let Pawan Khera
Let
speak,
me
please.
finish.
Let
Yeah,
Pawan
finish
Khera
your speech.
Rajdeep, will you stop him?
Yeah. Please
I
finish.
am not here for this. Am
Please
I here
finish.
to have a debate with Rakesh Sinha?
No.
What nonsense is this?
No. Let's not make personal things.
Rajdeep,
Tell
there
me,
are
make your point.
33,313. Please let me finish.
Yes.
Don't interrupt. Don't interrupt. No, I am getting impatient because I am not here for a debate. And you
Okay.
are dragging me into a debate. There are 33,313 people living in India on long-term visas belonging to Hindus, Buddhists, Parsis, Christians and Sikhs. Just 33,313, not my data. This is the Ministry of Home Affairs data. Are you doing all this for just those 33,313 people? First tell me this. Number 2, Adnan Sami. How did he get the citizenship? Please tell me that. Please educate me. So don't mislead the country. Your intentions are very clear. ये CAA तो बहाना है, मकसद NRC लाना है. और आप लोगों की ये एक स्टैंडर्ड प्रैक्टिस है कि चूहे को भगाने के लिए बिल्ली, बिल्ली को भगाने के लिए कुत्ता और कुत्ते को भगाने के लिए शेर. अब ये शेर आ गया जो आपको भगाएगा.
No, but this is...
You know, sir, somewhere, Rakesh Sinha, let's end this. Are you saying today, is the government willing to backtrack on its original plan for an all-India NRC for now, in the face of these protests? Is the government willing, or is this all a dog whistle? People are saying this is a dog whistle somewhere to send out a message that in some way, because you've specifically excluded Muslims, you are increasing the sense of fear.
You know, as far as CAA is concerned, you are telling Rajdeep that we have excluded Muslim. The whole basis of CAA is the religious persecution. If Taslima Nasreen is being persecuted, we are giving citizenship. We will give citizenship. Those Muslims who will claim that they are religiously persecuted in
the
Pakistan,
Rohingyas are religiously
they will
persecuted.
naturally get the citizenship.
The Rohingyas
But
are
in
religiously
Islamic state,
persecuted.
there is
The
a
Rohingyas are
possibility of
religiously persecuted. Religious
And I'm coming to
persecution is a very dangerous point to make. My point is
Rohingya
the Citizenship Amendment Act will have moral power.
No,
when
Rajdeep,
linked to the NRC,
let me make it clear.
when linked to the NRC,
Rohingya,
it becomes discriminatory. Are you willing to keep the NRC on a back burner
you asked
for now?
question and you
Will you keep the NRC on a back burner till you solve this issue?
No, but
let
surely
me answer.
Rajdeep, it's not even your case that
Rohingyas
you
are
allow
coming
any
through
number of
Bangladesh.
Rohingyas to come into our country.
But I'm
Rohingyas are
saying-
fighting
I'm
for
saying have a-
there is no religious persecution.
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead, sir.
Rohingyas are fighting for sub-nationality in there. There is no religious persecution. They are coming through Bangladesh. They are not coming directly from Myanmar. They are the infiltrators. They are coming through Bangladesh. Everybody knows this is a fact. And Congress is engaged in rumor monger. What Priyanka Gandhi is doing? What our business is? Bankrupt Congress is trying to fuel the communalism in this country, and this protest is creating a binary. And those people who are supporting, they lack the ethical basis. Constitutional morality is being challenged. Parliamentary democracy is being undermined by the violence. Who provoked violence? Unprovoked violence. This is just a replica of direct action. In 1946, there was a direct action without provocation. Go burning the public property, kill the people, and have a provocative slogans. These are happening in Lucknow.
Sir, because the NRC, the way it was done in Assam, until you come now, you brought out. Unless you bring out clarity on the NRC, the fear remains. You have failed to bring that clarity on NRC for whatever. How will you break? The NRC experience in Assam has been such that it has led to genuine fears that if this is extended across the country, it could lead to more harassment. Is the fear? You need to allay that fear.
Rajiv Kumar has said categorically. No, what? In constitutional democracy, government forms the policy, while policy formulation engages the opposition parties and all the stakeholders. In NRC, government has just expressed its intent, not government has proceeded. There is nothing, not a ABC. In Assam, NRC was done under the Assam Accord, which was done by Rajiv Gandhi. It was under the Supreme Court supervision.
Pawan Khera, does that satisfy you? The BJP is saying the NRC is only at a conceptual stage.
Government's
Pawan
intent,
Khera, the BJP now is saying NRC is only at a conceptual stage. Where Home Ministry sources are saying they are open, and they are saying the NRC, All India, will not be like the Assam NRC.
Rajdeep, so you are trying to tell me, not you, the Home Minister is trying to tell the country that all this tamasha was done for 33,313 people living on long-term visas in India? Why didn't you include the Hindu and Christian Tamilians from Sri Lanka? What about Tibetans? So let's not get carried away by what the so-called quote-unquote sources say. Fact of the matter is their intentions are very clear. Destabilize the poor, the tribals, the Dalits and the Muslims living in this country, and talk about persecuted minorities. Now who decides who is persecuted? Which court of law decides? We are saying please welcome all. Religious persecution, political persecution like Taslima Nasreen, yes, why not?
But that's already allowed.
Do not discriminate.
Taslima
Do not
Nasreen,
undermine the constitution of this country.
Visa already.
Do not shift
Adnan
focus
Sami
from
came here.
from your
You are
failures.
making it seem, Pawan
I am
Khera,
saying like
that
her.
this will not be allowed in the future. The Prime Minister, the Home Minister
Baba,
clarified in that interview that we did with him
Baba,
that
तो
this has
समझना
already
ही नहीं
happened.
चाहते
It will
ना।
happen again.
Rahul,
That more than
Kanwal,
500 such
if
people
you do not
who have
want to understand, I
have
can't make
got
you understand.
Indian citizenship.
सर आप अगर नहीं समझना चाहते तो मैं नहीं समझा पाऊंगा।
नहीं, पर आप गलत बोल रहे हैं ना। ऐसा नहीं है कि तस्लीमा नसरीन नहीं आ पाएगी, ऐसा नहीं है कि अदनान सामी नहीं आ पाएगा। What you are saying is factually wrong. You are building the specter of fear by suggesting things which are factually incorrect, Pawan Khera.
You refuse to understand.
It's not me refusing to understand. It's you putting up a bogey which is factually incorrect.
Sorry, you refuse to understand. I am giving you examples. I am saying whether it's Mr. Rahul Kanwal, you make up your mind, you want me to speak or not, I'll keep quiet. Let me finish. You interrupt and say you have, अरे आपको नहीं समझ में आ रहा, चुप हो जाइए, हम समझा देते हैं आपको। हमें मत समझाइए ना, हम आपसे ज्यादा जानते हैं इस बारे में, आपसे ज्यादा होमवर्क करके बैठते हैं।
आप ही जानते हो, आप ही जानते हो,
उदाहरण दे रहे हैं
आपको कांग्रेस
कि रिलीजियस परसिक्यूशन
आपको लगता है कि आप ही को आता है, जनता को कुछ नहीं आता, किसी को कुछ नहीं आता, आप ही को आता है सर। किसी को कुछ नहीं आता, आप ही को आता है जितना आता है।
आप हमारी प्रॉब्लम्स हमसे ज्यादा मत बताइए हमें। मैं मीडिया की प्रॉब्लम्स बताना शुरू करूं आपको? मैं मीडिया की प्रॉब्लम्स बताना शुरू करूं?
Respond to that. One second, Pawan Khera, cut out the rhetoric, respond to the question. The likes of Adnan Sami and others can still get Indian citizenship.
You cut this crap, let me finish.
First you use proper language, Pawan Khera. Use proper language. Do not use abusive language. It's not acceptable.
I won't
use proper language. It's not acceptable. We are being respectful. We expect proper parliamentary language.
Please. You are not a teacher for me. Do not teach the Congress party. We can also teach you.
I am asking you to use parliamentary language. What are you talking about? Pawan Khera, behave yourself.
सुबह से शाम तक
use proper language.
अरे हम कोई अनपार्लियामेंट्री बात नहीं कर रहे हैं. सुन लीजिए. You behave yourself. Rajdeep, this is the last time coming on your show. If this is the kind of gentlemanly behavior this man has, what nonsense is this? अरे आप सुनना क्यों नहीं चाहते हैं?
अरे आप ही बोल रहे हो, भाषा उठपुट यूज कर रहे हो, हम तो सुन ही रहे हैं आपकी बात।
पसंद है तो बोलते रहिए, अकेले शो करा कीजिए, किसी को क्यों बुलाते हैं आप?
Let's not, Rahul.
नहीं, आप अकेले शो किया कीजिए, आपको अपनी भाषा अच्छी लगती है, अपनी आवाज अच्छी लगती है।
No, I don't think, Pawan, let's be very clear. Pawan, we want to give every side an equal opportunity.
No, this is absolute rubbish.
You are completely irrational, Pawan Khera. Listen to yourself. Rajdeep and I are giving you a fair opportunity to make your point. You are putting out one bogey and after another, which is factually incorrect, laced with inaccuracy. And when you are being corrected, you are going completely belligerent. This is making no sense.
एक के बाद एक आप.
What you are saying is completely inaccurate.
Don't. You are interrupting. You are not correcting. You are interrupting. You are not
correcting. I am happy to stay quiet and allow you to speak. People are watching. They know who's being unreasonable. हम क्या कह रहे हैं? आपको उदाहरण
दे रहे हैं कि जैसे वो हैं. अरे बोलने तो दीजिए साहब.
अच्छा बोलो, चलो हम शांत हैं, आप बोलो.
तो आप चुप तो रहिए, बोलने तो दीजिए, बोले चले जा रहे हैं आप.
Go ahead now. 1 minute uninterrupted.
Thank you so much. Rajdeep, my limited point. Rajdeep, my limited point is differentiate between an intruder and a refugee, not on religious lines. Whether it's religious persecution or it's political persecution, like in the case of Taslima or Adnan, I'm not saying they haven't, I'm just saying like in the case of, allow everyone, whether it's Ahmadiyas, whether it's Christian Tamilians, whether it's Hindu Tamilians. Why is it so difficult for anyone to understand these examples?
I can only quote what Manmohan Singh had specifically asked for fast tracking it.
But Rajdeep, 1 second, Pawan Khera is not getting the point. He's lying to the people of this country. That is still allowed. Which part of what the law is doing changes that? Pawan Khera, the likes of Taslima Nasreen, the likes of Adnan Sami can still come into this country under existing rules. Why are you saying these things again and again and misleading people on this? I don't understand. What you are doing is very, very dangerous. You are lying to people, you are misleading them. Nothing in the law has changed which should stop the likes of an Adnan Sami or a Taslima Nasreen from coming into this country.
खुश हो गए, आप मेरे को बोलने नहीं देंगे तो कैसे कम चलेगा?
क्योंकि आप झूठ बोल रहे हो,
झूठे नहीं है,
सरासर झूठ बोल रहे
हैं। हम आपकी तरह झूठ नहीं बोलते नेशनल टीवी पे, हम आपको फिर से कह रहे हैं। अरे बोल रहे हैं हम कह रहे हैं अंडर द न्यू CAA आप हजारास को रखे हैं क्या? Persecuted minorities की बात हो रही है ना? Whether it's political persecution or religious persecution, क्या आपने शियास को रखा है, पश्तून्स को रखा है, बलोच को रखा है? हम आपसे ये पूछ रहे हैं। अब इसमें आपको समझ क्या नहीं आ रहा, मुझे ये बता दीजिए, या तो ये शो के बाद में
now you are making two separate points. One second. Now, once he's been factually corrected, Pawan Khera trying to shift the goalpost. And I want to clarify this to every single person who's watching that there is nothing in the rule which stops the likes of an Adnan Sami or a Taslima Nasreen from applying for Indian citizenship. That can still be accorded. The Home Minister told us that 500 such people just from the Muslim community just over the last 5 years have got Indian citizenship. So Pawan Khera is lying when he says the rule stops the likes of Adnan Sami from coming in. But he asks an important question, and I want to put that question to Rakesh Sinha. Rakesh Sinha must respond to that. No, he's made one important point, which is there are people in Pakistan and Afghanistan who are persecuted, like the Ahmadiyas, who the Muslims, who the Sunnis of Pakistan don't think of as Muslims. That's a reality. In 1974, the Pakistani government passed a law which says Ahmadiyas aren't recognized. The Baluch are persecuted. The Hazaras in Afghanistan are persecuted as well. These are realities. You can't run away from it. The relevant question, apart from all the factual inaccuracies he said, the relevant question he asks is, why should these people who are also persecuted not be considered for citizenship? Why should it be looked at from a religious lens? Rakesh Sinha must respond to that.
Now I'm answering. You know, as far as Baluchi is concerned, that is a sub-nationality question. Baluchistan is demanding this separate nation state. That is not a religious persecution. That is a political, ongoing political battle in Pakistan. As far as Ahmadiyya is concerned, you know, Indian Muslims have problem with Ahmadiyya. Ahmadiyya is not recognized by the Indian Muslim. You call the Ahmadiyya and you will have internal war among the Muslims. Ahmadiyya are questioning the importance of Prophet and Quran. They believe in a particular kind of sect, and there is a battle on the question of primacy of Prophet, a primacy of the Ahmadiyya's Guru. So this is an internal debate inside the Islam, internal division inside Islam. If someone is prosecuted, if they apply for the citizenship, India will give the citizenship to Ahmadiyya.
But you know, Rakesh Sinha, just as Rahul said, existing laws are sufficient for a Taslima Nasrin. Just a minute.
30 seconds, sir.
No, 1 minute. Rakesh Sinha, existing laws in this country are also sufficient for giving citizenship to the Hindu religious groups. They're sufficient. Why did you specifically at this stage need this? The fact is, existing laws, you can fast track it under existing laws. You have now created a system where if I'm a Hindu persecuted minority, I get instant citizenship.
I'm answering it.
Let's be very clear. Whether that person has come as an economic refugee or religious persecuted, you give him immediate citizenship. If his name is excluded in NRC, he gets instant citizenship. You have opened up new fault lines. The problem is you have a badly drafted law. That's the problem. You could have worked with the existing laws and improved on it. Why did you need this amendment? Apart from playing a political agenda to it.
Just listen to me. Citizenship is a dynamic concept. It gets changing according to circumstances and the requirements. As overseas Indians are now getting the equal rights as Indian citizens are getting. So don't question the relationship between citizenship and the nation state. As far as the concerned law is concerned, I am giving one example. The difference between Ahmadiyya and Hindus and Buddhists. In Bangladesh, Professor Abul Barkat, who is a professor in Dhaka University, after 30 years research wrote a book, which is most acceptable in Bangladesh and in the subcontinent. He says 632 Hindus are missing every day in Bangladesh since 1964 when it was East Pakistan. 11.3 million Hindus are missing. 2 lakh acres land has been captured by the BNP and other political parties activists of the Hindus. This is the statistics of Bangladesh Statistical Bureau. I am not talking of the RSS Bureau. I am talking Bangladesh Statistical Bureau. 2,20,000 Hindus and 6 were in Afghanistan till 1990s. Their number declined to 1,400. If you are blind to these discrimination and persecution, then we are helpless. India is a secular country. That's why we are giving right to religion. We are giving right to religion to all the minorities. As in civilizational context, we have given to Parsis and given the Jews. There were 1,09,000 Parsis in 1931 in India. They refused to go Persia when they were.
We have 3 guests who have kept silent while the 2 politicians have debated, and that often happens, have kept silent. And I want to ask them the larger question. As we see these protests, some of them peaceful, some of them turning violent, is there an element of fear mongering that's going on? I have with us Waris Pathan. आप मुझे बताइए, Kavita Krishnan is with us. Are you fear mongering? The charge which is being made is you are praying to possibilities that may emerge with an NRC. Government says it's only at a conceptual stage. What are you worried about?
Yeah. So, since I have not been given a chance to speak till now for the last 40 minutes, please allow me to say whatever I have to say for 3 minutes without interruption. Please.
I will give you a minute.
Yes. No, you give me 3 minutes and let me say what I have to say.
Go ahead.
Abysmal rudeness. And I want to say here that this is a simple issue that I have a tweet in front of me by Amit Shah from April, which is one of many speeches that he gave during the elections, where he said, first we will bring the Citizenship Amendment Act and give citizenship to Hindu, Buddhist, Sikh, Jain and Christian refugees, religious minorities from neighboring nations. Then we will implement NRC to flush out the infiltrators from our country. Again and again he has linked NRC and CAA, so this is hardly a bogey. Number one.
So you don't believe the BJP when they now try and say they're delinking it? You don't believe it?
No, I don't, but please let me finish, because it's important to say that what Rahul Kanwal was just saying to Pawan Khera was a terrible act of misleading about, if you read the report by Shoaib Danial in the scroll, he has established that the National Population Register, which is intrinsically linked to nothing but the NRC, not to the census, is already underway in this country. So the NRC process has already begun. This has been reported by a reputed journalist, and there has been no refutation of this specific thing. Please read that report.
I have
by
read
Shoaib
the
Daniel.
report, ma'am.
By
Again,
Shoaib Daniel.
the
And the other
question
thing I'm
still
saying is, the other thing I'm saying is that the simple thing is not all this thing about Adnan Sami and whatnot, because right now you need to wait 9 years at least. This is fast tracking it for 6 years for people. But this is not about people from outside, which is made clear by the fact that it's about people already inside our borders. This is not about anyone coming after 2014.
Yes.
Those who are already inside our borders will be subjected to an NRC, and to say that it is fear-mongering to say that you will have to produce documents, by the way, not from 1971 but 1951, is not an untruth
As
at all.
far as what happened in the Assam
As
NRC.
No, but that's not
what
correct,
happened-
Rajdeep. The
Assam
government has
was
already
19
clarified
Please let
that
me
your
finish.
passport, your
No, no, please let me
license,
finish. Please
your
let me-
land
No,
documents,
no,
all
no.
of them are
No, no,
acceptable.
Please let me
Some of it
finish.
is
One
just
minute,
fear
Kavita,
mongering.
just a
Please
minute.
let
No,
me
no, Kavita,
finish.
just a minute. If that is the case, Rahul,
Please let me finish.
if that is the case, then why do you need the NRC? You see, my point
Exactly.
is, if that is the case, if the government's clarification, I saw it, that it's going to be on existing, you don't need passport, license, we're not going the Assam route, then why need it?
No, why
my
should-
point, isn't there an element where the government now seems to be backtracking, A, by saying, look, we never have committed to this All India NRC right away. The statements of Mr. Shah over the last few months have been very clear that the All India NRC and the CAA are in sequence. All that has changed is because after the Assam NRC went wrong, you need to cover up it. As a face saver, you brought the CAA first. Now you want to bring the NRC because you want the Bengali Hindu voter in Assam and Bengal. Isn't that the cynical politics that's being played out, Rahul, somewhere?
There's more to this.
No, what is the one?
I
Let
would
me
like to
ask you
say
one
that-
small thing.
Yes.
You were protesting peacefully at India Gate.
Can
There
I
are
say
other,
something?
just a minute. There are other protests
know.
which have turned
I want to
violent.
say about
Has
that.
that not discredited you or
I
your
want to say
protest?
that.
Are
Yes,
you not worried about
I
that?
would like to say that I saw footage of that protest at Daryaganj, and I've spoken on the phone to people who were protesting there. Clearly the footage was completely peaceful, including women and children.
Yes.
One single vehicle was set on fire and there were a few stones. And people there are saying, just as happened in Murshidabad in West Bengal, where people disguised as protesters came and were agent provocators and set something on fire in order to discredit
are
the
you
movement.
saying that
This has
even in
happened.
Daryaganj there are people from the outside who have done it?
Absolutely.
There is no
police
proof of
saying,
that.
The police is saying it. Let me show you the tweet by the Delhi police. Please see NDTV's tweet, which quotes the Delhi police person saying certain outsiders came and
Yeah,
did this
outsiders
We don't know
violence.
who the outsiders
Yeah,
are.
yeah,
We
so
don't
that's
know who
what-
the outsiders
You just
are.
said it can't be. We don't know, right? Clearly,
Yes, so
it was
we
not
don't know.
You know, so how can
They
you say
knew
that
the
that's what's
protest-
happening?
I'm
If you
saying
don't
that's
know, how
what
can
was
you say that
happening.
it's happening?
Well, how can you say that the protesters are doing it? Do you know that's happening? I certainly don't.
No, I'm saying that
Because-
some protesters
no,
are
no,
doing it. Who
some
these
protesters
protesters
have
are
not
needs to
done
be
it. You
established.
don't know that the protesters have done it. There was no footage whatsoever of any protester setting fire to anything or even putting a single stone. Okay, we all know.
You
that
haven't seen
we all
protesters in
know that-
Ahmedabad, in
No,
Lucknow,
that's what
elsewhere
I'm
throwing
saying.
stones at the
We all-
police. You
we
haven't
all-
seen those pictures?
I'm saying that the stones that are being thrown here and that have been thrown, look at the Jallikattu protest. Look at, I was there during the 2012 Nirbhaya protest. Even there, police people were flinging rocks and claiming that we had flung them when we had absolutely not.
Oh, you
This is
can
not
see the
first time.
pictures. Come on,
Yeah, the
Kavita
pictures are not
Krishnan.
showing.
The fact that
pictures
some
are
of
not
these
showing
protests have gone out of
protesters,
hand.
Are you
but I
worried?
was-
Are you
clear as
worried?
No, I'm
daylight.
not at
Are
all
you
worried.
worried that this will,
No,
in a
I'm
way,
not at all
discredit
worried.
what,
I think,
what is otherwise a
no,
peaceful,
I'm not at all
focused
worried
protest in
because
several parts?
I think that not at all. I'm absolutely confident that people will continue to protest peacefully. But I want to say one thing to correct a factual error that was placed over here. So let me please finish that point. I want to say here that what Chandrasekhar Ravan said is absolutely spot on, that this is not something that needs to worry the Muslims alone. Every person in India, if you go by the Assam example, and we have to go by the example, why should we go by some assurance the government is giving when Assam mein ye ho chuka, it has already happened in Assam. We know that every single person had to line up to show documents, to show that their ancestors were Indian citizens in 1971. We know 1971 was the cutoff date only because of this accord, the Assam Accord. For the rest of India, it will be 1951. Amit Shah has said this in his speeches earlier. He has used the 1951 word very clearly. Please go and check it. I have checked it. And over there, it means that you have to show not only documents showing your
You've made your
ancestors were
point,
there,
ma'am.
but no, I haven't made my point.
You have made your point
My
now.
my point is that therefore it affects all people in India, and those who are non-Muslims will be rendered refugees. You are a citizen today,
You're
tomorrow
saying
you will
it's
be a
much
refugee.
more about
It
rich
is
versus
not
poor.
fear.
The poor will stand in the line for the documents. The rich will perhaps have their drivers stand in the line to make sure that their documents are in place. This is the demonetization of citizenship,
This
right?
is, Yes,
right.
it is,
Okay.
and it is absolutely unacceptable that all of us will be
okay.
tendered. This is not fear mongering, is what I'm saying.
It's not fear
absolutely
mongering.
valid fear.
Okay, let's leave it there, Rahul. We've had a rather heated.
We started at the Jharkhand elections and see where we ended up.
Okay, let's leave it there. I think it clearly shows the manner in which this issue is being polarized. It's getting. Rahul Srivastav, my apologies, but you want to give us 30 seconds to tell us, do you think these protests will continue? Is that your worry?
Rajdeep, I think what has happened is that we should borrow from P. Sainath's book. Every political party loves a flood of polarization. This is a moment where everybody is feasting. I think the minorities have a lot of apprehension and anxiety because of a slew of reasons. That is creating an outpouring. I think this is a time for a healing touch. Who is misinforming? Who is creating the fault lines? I think this is a very serious situation. I think post-Babri demolition, we have not seen a situation like this where people have been against each other. No. Right now it is government, police versus the protesters. It should not become Hindu versus Muslim or people versus the state. I think it's a very serious situation.
No, but the fact that Rajdeep, India sits on a tinderbox, I don't think that can be contested. It's a very volatile situation, a healing touch, an outreach required. If there is a time for an address to the nation, this really is it.
And it's not just the CAA, it's what's built up over the last few months. It's a sense what's built up over the last few years, a sense that businesses, trades, that Muslims in UP, for example, leather, the meat trade, feel they are targeted.
But it's a lethal cocktail.
It is.
There is the worst kind of fear-mongering on as well.
But when you have a sense of genuine fear, a sense of hopelessness about the future and rank prejudice, it becomes a combustible mix. And that's where I think what Rahul said, we need a healing touch. That has not been provided. We hope that healing touch will come sooner rather than later. Talk to your people. Listen to them. That's perhaps the way forward.
And this really is the time when an address to the nation is warranted. If the Prime Minister needs to come out, explain what's happening, this really is the moment to do it. There are apprehensions, there are concerns. He has the stature, the standing and the respect of a large number of voters. They listen to him. He needs to come out and explain what's happening. You can't allow the situation to drag on like this. We're slipping into a break. I'm going to take your leave. Rajdeep will continue with his show. We're back on the other side. Stay with us.
Thanks very much.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you would love to.